10:01. Good morning, you guys. It's Wednesday morning. We're just going to do this thing. It's a beautiful day out there, and I am going to share Miss Harmony. Oh, you can see her. She's right down here. She was going to be part of my show string at West Coast Classic. She's the daughter of Sweet Thing, and Sweet Thing was one of my most, well, I have so many favorites, but she was definitely on the top of my favorite list, as she won many, many, many best in shows, not only in the specialty shows, but in the open shows when they're competing against all of the other breeds of rabbits. She was pretty amazing. And it was kind of funny because she's one of those that when I take her outside to blow her one last time, they're calling the best of breeds up to the table. So that's when all the best of breeds go up to one whole show string, and people like, oh wow, where's she going? So I give her one last little poof, and I have 5 or 6 people following. Can we watch? Can we watch? Can I take her picture? Can I touch her? You can't touch, but you can take her picture. So we give her a last fluff. She had like an 8-inch wool when I finally sheared her after her final show career, and she had the body underneath there too. It was just incredible, and she was like her name, Sweet Thing. Oh, and she gave me 5 beautiful chestnuts. I bred her to a fawn guy, and yeah. And then months later, I was getting ready to make another date night, and she died. It broke my heart. So her offspring are very precious to me. And this Harmony, she lost a whole pound. So she's just a little over 9 pounds right now. I managed to get her registered about a month or so ago. So I think instead of trying to push her to the limits, she's just going to get sheared. We're going to give her some extra treats, and we might set up a date night. She's only got 2 legs. Her brothers and sisters, or sister, managed to beat her a lot. She's not the best bodied, but she's got the funniest personality. She's like my all-time favorite in the entire barn. She's so inquisitive, so happy. She's just so happy to see me all the time, and very inquisitive, very busy little girl. So it's going to be interesting when we get to shear her today. And she's at the perfect length for a shearing. It's right at a little over 3 inches. So I think it'll be perfect. Her wool will definitely go in my Sinfully Soft yarn. Just a few announcements. When I was looking back, it's the end of April. I couldn't believe how this month have just flown by. Isn't it kind of crazy? So as I'm ramping up and designing my website and different things, I'm trying to get organized. It's a feat. Before I was doing this, I was like running around, and it's usually putting out fires. That's on the top of my list. That's what I get done for the day. And then I'm too pooped to do anything, and I go back tomorrow and fighting fires. Well, I'm making a plan. So I'm looking back and looking at what I've accomplished in April, and it's been pretty amazing. I've started doing these lives in February. Oh my gosh. And today is going to be number 22. It's just amazing. I was so scared for so long to do this, and I've gotten such great comments from people. I'm just going to keep doing it. And I get to share some of my tips and tricks, share a little bit of the news of the day, and I get to do something that I need to do anyway, shearing rabbits, sorting wool, going through our stuff, and if I can share with you guys, it just makes it that more enjoyable. Seems like I'm doing some good. So if there's anything that you guys would like to hear or see, just send me a note. I can add that into our lives in the future. The other thing I've done that I'm pretty proud of is I've done a little redesign on my website, Sinfully Soft. I'm doing away with fuzzy Vons. I used to have that separate, but financially it just doesn't make sense to maintain two websites. So I've done really good. I've accomplished my goal. I've got the foundation built, and it's looking really good. And one of the things that I realized many, many years ago, and I continue to do it today, is I try to make things more difficult. Do any of you do that? Oh God. So on listing my rabbits that I have for sale, the last couple of years I haven't had very many. And after my first COD, we pretty much got really tired of breeding and selling. So we just kind of went down, and I focused on expanding my color genetics and started playing with some side projects and whatnot. Well, I'm taking up a new COD, my husband and I, and yeah, so I'm looking at my barn with new eyes and really reevaluating everybody. So instead of having a listing that's for sale, because I will be moving more rabbits in the future. I only have maybe a handful, maybe 2 or 3 right now, but I'm going to list those animals on Discord, and I'll post a note in my newsletter. So if you want to hear of anything that's coming up for sale from Fuzzy Vons, those are the 2 places you can find them, on Discord. And if you're on my newsletter list, keep an eye out there, because that's where I'll post those. Otherwise, I'm going to post a general rabbitry listing of Fuzzy Vons. And as my rabbits, like today, Miss Harmony, she'll have her own little video getting sheared today. I will hopefully remember to put her link in her little description, so when people look at her and want to see her offspring, what kind of qualities she has, they can see her video. So instead of having 2 or 3 places where I'm listing animals for sale, I'm just going to try to keep it simple. Yeah. And then I'm also looking in May. I've added some stuff to the website. I've got some of my own designs, and I want to do 1 or 2 designs a month. I think that's very doable, and add to that. Right now, I'm just going to stick with t-shirts. I'm wearing one of mine. It's pretty cool. My Giant Angora. Of course, it's showcasing the chocolatey goodie. And it's the ring color, you guys. And I'm wearing the color watermelon. I'm a big pink fan. I like pink. And it just, and it's Comfort Colors brand. I bought a few of the Comfort Color brand years ago, and I really, really like it. And I forgot how much I really like it. A friend of mine mentioned that I should look into Comfort Colors when I was doing the Etsy shop for putting it together for Narvik. So I decided to jump in there. Well, now that I bought it and I'm wearing it, it's nice. It's a little thicker material. And the one thing that I noticed over the years, you guys have bought these cheap t-shirts. I buy them all the time, especially when you're doing barn chores. And you're almost like Velcro to the wool. And especially if you throw them in the wash. I mean, I try to remember to blow myself off and try to get most of the wool off. But after it's gone through the wash, your shirt is like a Velcro. It's stuck. Well, these Comfort Color t-shirts, it's not near as bad. Yeah, I mean, you can't get away from wearing some fluff, and I will be soon. But yeah, so I'm really excited. So through the summer, I'm going to be adding more designs. And then when we start rolling into the fall, probably August timeframe, I'll have on my list to introduce the hoodies and probably crew neck sweaters too. Not sweaters, crew neck sweatshirts. Yeah. And in May, I'm going to be wrapping up some more courses. on Sinfully Soft. You might have seen the Angora Artesian Academy. I'm really, really excited about this. It's something I've been working on for years, and I built it. I had it on fuzzy Vons, and I never really did much with it. Well, now I'm going to. I'm really excited. It's fully moved over to Sinfully Soft now, and it only costs you a cup of coffee. Well, the cost of a cup of coffee to enter. And if you use the code word YAY, you can get in for free. Because I don't have a whole lot of stuff there right now, but it's going to be coming. One thing for sure is Mastering the Art of Giant Angoras. I'm going to be publishing in the newsletter. I'm only going to have 12 seats. The end of May, I'm going to have a 4-week session online via Zoom on my course, Mastering the Art of Giant Angoras. I've taught it twice now, once in person and one online. And so these lives and doing things on camera has given me a little more confidence, and I'm learning a lot more. So I'm thinking this next go around is going to be pretty cool. I'm only going to have it open to 12 seats. And if I get a lot of interest, we might have another session later on. But that will be coming later this week. I'll post it in the newsletter to sign up. And so mark your calendars for May 27th. And then, of course, West Coast Classic, 15th, 16th, and 17th of May. That's going to be huge. And, of course, that's in the front of my mind because there's a lot of things that are pulling together right now, gearing up for that show. So most of May is going to be diving into that. And then last month, I was invited to do a judges conference for Giant Angoras, and I missed it, unfortunately, with vehicle issues. But I have all this material, and I was going to put it. It's going to be part of Mastering the Art of Giant Angoras, but I was wanting to do a standalone video, so I'm going to do that still. I'm thinking naming it something like Giant Angoras, What Are Their Superpowers? So maybe something clever, but specifically diving into the proper wool structure. Because at that time, I had 2 examples, one of a very good example of what the proper wool structure is, and a few really bad examples. And so I'm usually somewhere in the middle, especially since I've been mucking things up using my F2s and F3s with some crosses. It's benefited my barn as a whole, and it's also created challenges like they always do. But we want to dive into that some more. And I want to do more tie-dyeing. Spring is coming. My sinks are open. I've got a whole tub almost full of tied up shirts ready to dye. I just need to dye them. What am I waiting on? Well, for one, the weather. So we've got that. The weather is on our side, and time. I think May is the month for more tie-dyeing. Yeah. So May, I'm going to start filling up the Angora Artesian Academy. And then this summer, I'll be working on it even more. So look for more to hit that. And then long term, I'm looking at October-ish. We have a couple of things coming up. One is OFF, Oregon Flock and Fiber Festival. I'm really excited because I'll be teaching again. I've been approved. It is called, I even brought it with me so I remember exactly. It's not up on their website yet, but it will be. From Rabbit to Mill, Sorting and Grading Angora Wool for Market and Mill Runs. So we're going to dive into that. I'm really excited. It'll be an in-person course, and I'll be using that material also to have a course online. And it's going to have a certificate wrapped in there too. So once you take the course, there's going to be a test. And once you pass that test, you can earn a certificate. I'm really excited about that. And then ARBA convention. We don't normally have in the same year am blessed to have two major shows on our side of the United States. One being the Angora Nationals, which is coming up here in just 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks now, in Reno, Nevada. And in October, the end of October is that right? Yeah, the end of October, the ARBA convention. It's the largest rabbit show in the nation. And both these huge shows, they travel to different locations in the United States. So when they travel to our side of the country, we make it a must go to that show. So there's two must goes. One to the Angora Nationals, of course, in May, just a few weeks away. And then in October, in Reno, is the ARBA convention. And tied into that convention, there's a lot of pieces in the works right now. But I hope my plan A, cross your fingers, toes, we can make our chocolate agouti exhibit at that time. So I'm breeding up so I can have at least 12 really nice chocolate agoutis to showcase for everybody to see. I have a few now, and I think I will have 12 easy. You know how many girls I have bred right now? I think 10. And I have 2 more girls, one being Miss Harmony. Once we get her naked today, we're going to introduce her to a chocolate agouti boy. He's been busy. He's been a really good boy. He had one aggressive girl that wasn't playing very nice, and so he had another date night with a calmer girl, and I had to make a little video. He was so sweet. He just took his time and was kissing on her, and she'd kiss on him a little bit. It's like, come on, you guys, let's warm it up. And they were just so cute together. So he's been outperforming himself. Sometimes it took a lot of coaxing, but I hope to have a lot of chocolate agoutis coming up. Let's get a rabbit naked, shall we? Enough of me jibber-jabbering. Oh, one last thing I wanted to remind everybody is on the Angora Discord, our weekly giveaway is going to be these vinyl stickers. These are waterproof. It says hair today, yarn tomorrow. My very own design. And they truly are waterproof. I put this on my water bottle a few years ago. No, you guys don't get this. Black Sheep gave all their vendors this nice thermos a few years ago on their 50th anniversary. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. 2 years ago. And it was the perfect color. The only thing I don't like is the color of my knitting stitches is virtually the same color as the thermos. So it's kind of, it doesn't stick out as much as I would have liked. So if you have a different color thermos, you'll probably have a better, oh, but it's beautiful. I like it. So get on Discord. You can win you a sticker for free. I know Miss Harmony, she's over here digging at her cage like, Mom, you've been talking long enough. I put some goodies in her little cage, in her little traveling cage, so she could sit there. She was sitting there for about a half an hour before I started this. Want to say hi to everybody? We're going to move the camera. She's like, she's camera shy. I don't believe that. She's not shy. I'm going to put my... Bear with me while I change. You know, my goal is to make a 1% increase in quality. Oh, my coffee cannot be over here. I'm going to get that because I know you're busy. I've made a whole lot of 1%, a lot more than 1% increase. Some days, a lot more. But believe it or not, one of my goals good night. And this thing that usually works really good, where are you going, baby? Isn't working good. So all you can see is my tub. That just won't work. I don't know why it's not staying up. It used to. And all of a sudden it's not working. So my 1% increase, well, it's going to be more than 1% increase, right? Darn it. Good night. Is to get me a different stand and different setup so I can do this smoothly without all this ruckus. Look at that. Hi, baby. Can you say hi to everybody? This is Miss Harmony. She wants to play. I can't believe you're losing weight. What's the deal there, chick? She's got really nice wool. You do? I'm looking for my little... Yeah, with her guard hair, it's up to 5 inches, but her underwool is right at 3. So that's going to work just fine. Yes, she's a perfect example of a busy little girl. I've got my shears ready to go. Yes. You even got feet up in your wool. How'd you do that? How'd you do that? Yeah, I can feel her little bones up here. This will be good to get her all naked and get her comfortable. We're going to start down here. Hi, sweetheart. Yeah. And we're going to take care of this stuff back here first. I blew her out yesterday, but it was a quick job. That's when I was trying to go over my show string, kind of like who's still in condition, who's trying to get my list together. For normal shows, my process is I try to start a week before the actual show date, right? That's for a normal, not the show date, but the entry date. Those are 2 different things, right? You need to send in your entries. Usually, this is a little wet, so I'm just going to dry it up a week before the show. So you make the deadline. So a week before that, so the 2 weeks before the show, I'm trying to get out there and narrow down who my show string is. And typical, this isn't ideal, but typically the thing I do is the night the show entries are due, I'm out there grooming and brushing and seeing who's in ship shop shape that can make it to the show. Drives my husband nuts. But that's what I do, and it's not preferred. Believe me, I would prefer to do things like I'm doing now. The deadline isn't for a couple of weeks, so I'm getting ahead of the game. I'm trying to figure out who's in condition and who's not. She's starting to even molt. Some of this is seconds. They're dirty seconds, where it's just urine, and the seconds are going to be dyed and then hand spun by me, or maybe sold. I don't know. I'm getting quite a bucket full over there. My intention is all my seconds, I'll blend it with some of my sheep wool. I've got some really nice merino and Ramudel, and dye it. And then blend it up into little bats and hand spin it. And knowing that what I have out here is probably a lot more than I'm getting out of camera. Is that a little better? This is her tail. I'm not going to keep any of that. Get your foot out of my way. I can't see. Silly girl. We're just gonna, and I hold her tail with my fingers. I'm trying to get her foot out of my way so I can see. These thirds I should be keeping. I generally don't use a whole lot of my thirds. Hi, sweetheart. Clean out my brush because there was some stuff in there. This is all going to be in my seconds. So let's work on your feet. Let's get this out of the way. And what I always try to do when I'm snipping, I always try to see I'm out of camera again. You're too long, Harmony. I want to see the scissors, as if I just dig in there, sometimes I may not be confident on exactly where I'm at. And you don't want to pull on the skin. You just want to kind of hold the wool back. And I just keep making little snips. Some people use their shears on here, and that's okay too. Hi, baby. going to adjust the camera a little bit. She's just too long. You're too long. You're a big girl. She's got the bone. All of these kids have the bone. And if there's anything that's, it's almost as important as the wool structure. But you've got to have good bone behind these giants. Now her belly's been kind of matting up a little bit. And I always do their little pads. What is your problem? Do I need to put my arm under your head? Do I need to do that? Side of her little feet are kind of felted up. Yeah, so I got one foot almost done. I'm going to push down on the knee and finish trimming up this other foot. By pushing down on her knee. Yeah, she's definitely not in the mood. She might not be feeling good. There's something going on with her. That's why it's so important to do your CNCs frequently, because they can change in their condition just in a heartbeat. Turn around, and seemed like just yesterday I had her out and grooming on her, and she was part of my show string, and now she's lost a whole pound. Yeah. So something's going on. So I know she'll feel much, much better getting naked here. And we'll try to beef her up with some treats. Make sure she continues to eat, because she was eating I saw her just now. I had some treats in there in the little dish, and she was chowing down. So that's my biggest scare, is if they go off feed for whatever reason. And she'll be on poop watch. Make sure she has nice round poops. And I'm getting some nice dandelion greens, and my willow tree is producing a lot. I usually give them some of that. My husband even bought some kale. I have one plant that he bought as a seedling. I don't think it's even planted yet, but I've actually gotten a couple of harvests off it already. The leaves are pretty big. They love that. I had one kale plant years ago, and that thing got like 5 feet tall. And about once a week, I would take a couple of leaves off it and give to somebody that wanted some. One of my bunnies. Wasn't enough to give the whole barn, but if all the kale produces that he planted out there, the whole barn will get plenty. I'm doing pretty good. We got the legs done. Yep. We're just going to get some more of this. This is always the hard part. And it's not the fun part, right? For either one of you. Getting really close to her little part there. But she's not too dirty down there. It's just... Oh. This is little Maddie here, so I'm just going to snip that out. The rest of this stuff is a little longer, so I'm going to start shearing. That's one thing I did do yesterday is I charged up my shears. I was going like town this weekend shearing a whole bunch, getting all the girls ready to breed. And I didn't charge my shears and it went dead. I have my cord and it's a long cord, but you know how awkward it is to shear with the cord on, and especially some of these that are little busy bodies, because they one chomp and they would have that cord cut in half. So, hi, sweetheart. You have pretty wool. Oh my gosh, you did such a good job. What I'm going to do, can you see some of those seconds? I'm trying to be in a hurry because I don't want to make her more uncomfortable knowing that I feel good. There's something going on with her. But I also don't want to make sure my prime bucket is all ready. These were a little shorter. That's why I put those in my seconds. Okay. Hi. I'm going to pull on the skin just a little. Grab some more. I'm blowing off the... Since there's pea stains on that, I don't know. That'll go in my seconds. This other stuff is prime, and that's going to go into my Sinfully Soft yarn pile. Most of this is stained with a little bit of urine, so it's going to go in my pile. But she's not that dirty, so most of this will go into my Sinfully Soft yarn. Oh, I know, sweetheart. It's all free-flowing. There's no webbing, even way back here. That's usually a problem area for webbing. And it's usually that place back here right above the tail where it's really dense. Kale used to be a garnish where you worked at Sheridan. Now it's a big deal. I generally don't like to eat kale myself unless it's dressed up. But my bunnies love it. Don't they? Yeah. She doesn't like my hand over her head. Do ya? But she's a good girl. But I can feel that her skin is just really loose. So with my thumb, I'm going to try to pull her skin so I can get a good swipe with the shears. So with that, I am feeling pretty darn confident. We got all the hard spots. Well, not all, but oh my goodness, you just kicked the table and I just had the video just right. Good night. Good night. You guys are getting a good look at my bucket, and it's my second. If you had to look at something, you'd probably want to look at the prime, right? Where do you think you're going, Missy? Yep. I need a new camera holder. And I've got a couple of them around here, so we're going to do some experimenting. It's acting like the camera is too heavy and it just folds on itself. And then she's being her pleasant self. The reason I love her. Miss Inquiry, Miss Busybody. So I got most of the hard part. I know, but you're not done yet, sweetheart. You're far from done. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get her belly. Do one swipe down the middle here. Can we do that? And I'm just going to throw that in my second bucket. And I'm going to finish sorting that later. Because she's telling me she wants my attention. And you're worth it, baby. This is slightly webbed. I think if I would have taken more time and blown her out and brushed her out, this would be prime. But I didn't, so I'm just going to put it in my seconds. And we're going to sort that later. You are just lovely. Getting the nipple area. Oh, tickle. That's probably prime, but I'm going to put that in the second bucket right now. Look at that. Now this is where you little people with a lap, you can put them on your lap and put their heads right between your knees, and their legs would be on your belly like this. And then you will have both hands free. I don't have much of a lap. No. So that just doesn't work well with me. So since she's still kind of being good, we're going to do a little bit more down here. I'm getting a lot of second cuts in that though. This is lovely wool. This is what I want my giants to look like. There's a little bit of crimp in there, and she's got just enough guard hair to keep everything lively and beautiful. Oh my goodness. Without being too overwhelming. And it's soft. It's strong. Oh my goodness, girlfriend. She just didn't have the huge density that I like. That was one little fault, if she had to have a fault. And her ring color, it's still there. It's not very dark. But it's there. And I think she's a year old now. Yep. So like Dahlia, a cousin, she's several years old and she's got very dark coloring, very dark. Have you had it? Have you had it? Yeah, she's going to have a short session. And when I get done here, are we done? She says, Louise, let me sit upright and shake it off, girlfriend. Shake it off. Yeah, because she's so precious. There's still some more feed in your hair. We're going to have to take a look at your cage setup. I know she's on the second level, so obviously somebody on the upper level has been contributing to her feed in her hair. Unless you're doing that. Are you doing that? No? Yeah, little people and laps, right? I'm not so little. But I've come to embrace the table method, and that works well for me. The only downfall is I don't have both hands. That sure would come in handy, especially when you're dealing with little busy ones like this one. Shall we try to do your sideburns? She will look ridiculous, but she'll feel so much better. I just want to watch her eyes. Oh, this will be too short, so it's definitely going to go on my thirds. I trimmed the back of her neck a while back, so she's not She doesn't have much going on there. So I'm going to try to get some of this. Especially since she's sitting still for me. That's all thirds. The third bucket is really good for felting, nesting material. And her dewlap, this is going to be a challenge because she's lost some weight and she's kind of loosey-goosey down there. I'm going to get some of this. It's kind of matty. Hi, sweetheart. You're being good now, huh? You just didn't like being on your back. This stuff is really short. So I'm not going to worry about separating it. I'm just going to put that right in my thirds. Normally I would keep that. Sometimes it's even prime. But since we're doing kind of a, I call it an emergency shearing because I know she's in distress. Something's going wrong. Something's going wrong. Now, honey pot, I have to put you on your back to finish your dewlap. She's so calm. She goes like, whatever. Oh, I said you were calm, so now you wake up. Hi. You're going to look ridiculous, but you're going to feel so much better. There's just a little bit of short stuff here on your shoulder blade. Can I get that? How'd I get fuzz in my mouth? Okay, I got some of that shared. We're gonna see if we can do that, and then it'll be time for a break. Will that be all right? I got her kind of snug by the base of her ears. I'm not holding her so tight where it's going to hurt her. I can just finish that dewlap. And get that out of the way. We're getting into the prime now. We don't want to. So this right here is the last little stuff that I need to do for her belly. So let's just do that. Her belly and her arms. Some of that could be seconds, but I'm going to. Oh, her belly wool is prime. It's prime, baby cakes. Have you had enough of me? Have you had enough of me? I just want to do a little. I do this. I just want to do a little bit more. A little bit more. And I want to be sensitive to her feelings. Because she's like, this is her way of telling me something. And part of it. It could be anything from, I gotta pee. They do have manners, believe it or not. Most of them do. Some of them don't. They try to tell me, I gotta pee. Put me back. I've been on your table long enough. And some are just uncomfortable. Where she's lost so much weight, I could feel her bones. That's why I put an extra pad on my table. I have 2 tables here to give her a little extra cushion. Of course, she has her own cushion, right, with her wool. But once I shear that off, she won't have that. Hi, sweetheart. That's one thing I don't want you to do is kick the bucket off the table. That would suck. Those are definitely seconds. So I'm going to take my time going through these seconds. I don't want her to have to wait on me. Yeah, you're too precious. Can you lay right there? Is that okay? Okay. Put your head down, Missy. She's like, I've had enough. Well, your belly is pretty much done. Let me look at this side. Can I do this real quick? Maybe. Maybe. And then all I would have to do is the top and sides. And you shouldn't have to be on your back because your toenails are trimmed. Your belly's all trimmed. Yeah, so I think she's done for today. Well, for now, not for today. I did that yesterday or Monday. I put the rabbit next to me and was covering up my microphone. So it's like I couldn't hear a word I was saying. She looks absolutely ridiculous, but I think she's going to feel a lot better. I'm going to call it a day. Oh, holy cannoli. Did I time that right? It's 11 o'clock. It's right at 11. So she's going to get some more treats. And then I'll go back and finish her out. I might blow her out before I put her in her cage. Because the first thing she's going to do is clean herself. And I don't want any long stray fibers out there for her to digest and make whatever she's got going on worse. Okay, Miss Harmony. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Paul. I'll see you guys later. You have a great week and a wonderful weekend.